Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. I junk journal and a slow stitch. Try to make things sustainably as possible by using recycled materials and avoiding single-use or plastic items. You know, buying stuff from the shop or online. So today we are doing Junk Journal January. This is one that didn't print properly. And let's see, I'll tick off what I've already done. We've basically done all of those. We've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. Now we're on to balance, neutral and unfold. So I think I'm going to do these three together, and I've had a little plan and a little think. This is my journal. It's made out of an old Quality Street paper tub. When I say old, it's from just before Christmas. It's not vintage, but the notion behind it, I'm very sentimental and nostalgic. And so, you know, old sweet tins, old biscuit tins, old cookie tins, wherever you are in the world, whatever you call it, sometimes get turned into sewing boxes. So this is my loosely sewing box themed junk journal for Junk Journal January. I've got two signatures, and this one, it's got a few bits and pieces left in it, but I think I'm going to put that to one side now and focus on this signature. So I can put that one back in, and you can see the various things that I've done. And then I took a page out of this signature. I had it glued up. So the page goes in like that. But I think, I don't know, where do we go? I didn't want it overlapping with that. So I think it must overlap with this, yes. So that's how it fits into the journal. So we've got that page, and then we've got this here, and then we've got the other side. So the other side kind of folds out like that. And because I use recycled material, I made these pages. Can I lean across them? Get it. Yes, I can. I made these pages from the guts of books. So I kind of find books out in the wild, charity shops for free, local supermarket, charity like bookshelf. And I kind of process them for the images that I want. And then I get left with, you know, sometimes odd shapes of paper that I actually sew into my journals, because I like the fact that it throws a bit of a creative spanner in the works. I think I might have even used all my odd shaped ones. Oh no, here we are. So you end up sometimes with a page like that, and what I'll do is I'll take that and add that into the journal, and I might fold that in like that, or that might be the fold that way and then this comes down that way. However, that's basically how I came to that shape, and then obviously I had to cut it to fit in the box, so that's why it's this sort of shape as well. So that's how it's going to sit in the journal. Let me find it again, but I'm going to kind of do it as a cohesive whole, even though it won't look like that because that's not how it's sewn in, just because we're running out some themes. So neutral, stop wittering. I've got some fabric samples. So this is the sticky bit from some samples from like an interior designer or something like that, and I've cut that bit out and used it in some slow stitch, and now I'm left over with this. So, you know, I can make a tab, I can do all kinds of things with that. I've got the same, and I've kind of just looked in my sort of stash of these odds and ends and found neutral palette. I think golds are neutral. I think these colours are quite neutral, that's why I stuck these on. So these are a napkin. See if I can find a fragment of the napkin. This is a fragment of the napkin. I have like odds and ends boxes at the side of me that's sort of left over from other projects, and I very often reach for them before I go to my napkin stash, which is quite, I've been doing this a long time, I've got a lot of stuff. But I find digging into my odds and ends box first is just useful. You don't get overwhelmed really. I've also gone into my various tins and boxes that I have like little tins with bits and bobs in around my desk, and I pulled out neutral coloured things. This is a piece of like 1860s dress silk. Got various vintage stamps, bits of brown. That's an image out of a book. This is napkin that's been stuck onto a book page, again just with simple PVA glue. I don't use fancy branded products mainly. There's a few, but not often, and I've just fussy cut them out. Out of a book, another stamped image. I do a lot of stamping on those book pages. A lot of stamping just to make elements. Okay, this is a bit of a vintage notion from my slow stitch stash. I've just done a bit of a repair there, so I thought that's going to be centre sage on one of the pages. And I also quite like that picture, even though it's not sewing themed, it's nostalgic, so I'm not that old. I am quite old though. Got all our stamps. I have these. I think if you're going to invest money into junk journaling and slow stitching, actually, my video last Sunday was about this, stamps and good inks are a really good investment. So and I found this out by accident. So I used to scrapbook way back in the day, and I never actually did much scrapbooking, but I did a lot of collecting, so I've got a lot of stuff. And this is an Annie Griffiths stamp that is 20 years old, might be a bit less, yeah, and it's still going strong. It's a silicone stamp. That's an Annie Griffiths one as well. So I kind of have a stash of stuff that I can just keep making elements with instead of buying elements, basically. Stamps. I love a vintage hunt. That's more Annie Griffiths. I've got this is a Graphics Fairy printable. That's from the free section on the Graphics Fairy. Those are the junk journal January bits. Some more images stamped onto pages that I just come out of my scrap box. I've not done that especially for this. I just found it in my scrap box and thought, oh, I might make that into something. This is more napkins stuck onto a very old book page, to give that a lovely old patina. And I think this is a neutral for me. I like colour, so like when I know some people like a lot of coffee and tea dyeing and all of that sort of stuff, and in the summer I'll dabble with that, but not in the winter, and I would run out of the stuff. So I like old book pages, or book pages that turn. You can have book pages that are like 10-15 years that turn a brown colour, slightly different colour to this. This is like 100-year-old book page, but I like the old book pages. So we're going to use these. I'm not sure how. I just thought I would run through the supplies that I've got. There's not like I haven't done a pre-made one. I've had a little think and then just pulled out supplies. So we have this page first, and I made a pocket with a bit of there was another bit of foldy up bit, and it kind of folded that way up. So I have a pocket here to make something. And then we have this page. I think I'm going to spend most of my time on this page, and that's purely because I need to do some repairs here, and then I need to sort of make a collage, which I think that's what I might do, is collage on here. I'm going to use my PVA glue. I might do some drying of it in between. I might jump to the other side of the page and make a tag or something, and then my radiator's on. My radiators are on. Pop this on the radiator to dry it a little bit. I'm kind of just going to play around, really. So first of all, we're going to do some sort of collage. Collage is not my strong suit, but I'll have a go. So I've got these pages. So what I thought I would do is just start by ripping up, and you can see just how like fragile this paper is. I'm just going to stick the pages on. use like natural edges. Nearly got it all covered already. Gives that natural edge. Okay, I'm just gonna go in there with that. That'll be your first bit. Need to get a glue brush down the side. I have like a little nest of crafting supplies all around me. I do want a bigger desk though. That might be the challenge for this year. I'm in, if you've not watched me before, I'm in a spare bedroom and it's a box room. I live in a very old dilapidated somewhat terraced house in southeast England, and this is the box room. It's a very nice room because it's got all my crafting supplies in it. So let's just slap some paper down. I don't really do too much thinking about when I do like these kind of collagey bits, especially not this bit because this is like a base layer. I could have even done it before I switched the camera on, but I thought I was just going to play and I thought I may as well switch the camera on. So I hope you're okay and I hope you're crafting along. Let me know in the comments, are you crafting along with me or are you watching? Am I on in the background? I wonder if often just looking at my, because I've been doing junk journaling on YouTube properly since July of last year, because I started with junk journal July. Get it right, Lindsay? Yeah, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't really edit. I just do a sort of a raw video. I can just about put a thumbnail on. And I just enjoy doing it. And the channel is gradually growing. I don't even know to what end, but there you go. We're just doing it. We're just doing it. I don't have a lot of like flashy equipment. Got an old phone. I do have a very nice tripod because my husband used to be a photographer, so this is very nice. It's some Italian brand, Manfrotto tripod, which is quite good. But everything else is very much cobbled together. My room that I'm in, the spare room, like literally bits and pieces. There is a tour video on the channel. It's bits and pieces from the side of the road or from online free groups to make my little craft room. But I do love it. I love being in here. It's good for my mental health. I was listening to a video today by K3N, and she's a slow stitcher because I slow stitch as well. And actually my first crafting love was slow stitching, and she was talking about how she makes her space nice, but also about encouraging productivity and doing things particularly in a funk. And I quite like, I don't need much of an excuse to come in here, but there was something that she sort of said about being productive, and it was like, do a practical thing, do a physical thing, and do a creative thing every day, so that you know that, like, you know, at the end of the day you've done, you know, you've done those three things. Just trying to think now. This is why I get sort of decision fatigue. Certainly. But it's alright. So I'm just using the same page, but it's kind of two types of paper, because one has got the napkin on it, and it will look different from the other page. Not that that matters, because they will be separated by other pages, but it will look different. Let's have another go. I'm sort of mindfully tearing where I'm going off camera there. Just sort of mindfully tearing. I will be going around with a pair of scissors later, just trimming it all to size. So I'm not worrying too much. And I'm just dipping in my PVA glue. So if you don't know what PVA glue is, because I think glues are called different things all over the world, it's what we use in schools. So it's kind of school glue, white school glue. I think Mod Podge has got a similar, or Mod Podge, I don't know how you say it. It's got a similar like list of ingredients. I don't think it's completely the same. Certainly not price wise anyway. Again, matte medium has got some similar ingredients. It's not as thick or gelatinous as matte medium. It does size and seal because it's actually used, and what I buy big drums of it for about £12. And it's what plasterers use once. How do I explain it? In this country, we build with bricks and mortar. We don't really build with wood and then plasterboard. Our internal walls are built like that. But then we have like gypsum plaster. And if you don't want it to fall off the wall, once you've put it on this gypsum plaster, you have to seize it or size it. And that's basically what PVA glue is used in the building trade. So I just buy their PVA glue rather than buying it from the shops. And you can get like a big gallon drum of it for not a lot of money. So here we are, and it works just as good. And it is my main source of glue, really. So I'm just continuing to rip bits and pieces out, being a little bit mindful of the images, but not too mindful. This is a beautiful set of napkins, and I'm running out of them, so a little bit sad about that, but it is what it is. Yep, kind of, we will roughly, so I don't glue everything. This is an old Paradise Lost book. And paper, I mean, I have to be careful what the writing is because it's a little bit doom and gloom. But the paper is just such a wonderful colour. And lends itself very nicely to this sort of neutral palette theme, so yeah. Okay, not much more to do. Also, when you're doing things, I don't know if you YouTube, if you do, let me know down below. It's always nice to see other channels, but you're kind of doing things upside down, like, so you have to think a little bit differently. No, it's a bit too much glue, Lindsay. So if you can hear noises, I'm keeping all my doors open because I live in an old house and it's winter. That's the best way to keep the rooms aired. She says getting glue all over things she doesn't need to get glue on. Have the rooms aired and not musty, not like condensation-y or anything like that. There's lots of dehumidifiers going as well. Them's the breaks for living in an old house. but we love it. It does mean you can hear people noise. But other people live in this house, which I'm very grateful for. So we let them make noise. It's actually, we've got new neighbours moving in on the house on the other side of us. So when I say terrace housing, if you're in the UK, you'll know that. Perhaps in Australia and Canada, you might not know. You might know that. I don't know. But it just means that there's like a row of houses that are all attached together, so that we all share sort of dividing party walls, basically. So I'm a mid-terrace, which is quite good for insulation purposes, because our main two walls are internal. But it does make you very aware that there's people just on the other side of the wall. I mean, they're not like, they're proper brick walls, they're load-bearing walls, but yeah, it does make you a little bit aware that there's people living just on the other side of the wall. I think it's a very English thing, or a very British thing. We have them in Wales and Scotland and other parts of the kingdom too. I'm so glad I found a scrap of this napkin. So, is this what you would consider neutral? Interested to know what other people's interpretation are. I think that's what's great about these kind of challenges, because they're completely open to your interpretation, really. Why did I rip that? Was it to go like that? I think so, but let's get rid of some of this bulk then. I'm aware I'm very on the edge of my little mark. I do apologise. I don't know who's doing what downstairs, but there's obviously some banging going on. It'd be my husband getting his airsoft gears ready. Yeah, that's what I can hear. It's an airsoft gun. So I'm going to put that on the radiator now next to me and let that dry out a little bit. So we've got this and we've got that. I kind of wanted, so this had some wool on it for reinforcing and mending, so you like darning wool. It had that on it at some point, and then when I got it, it looked like it was fishing wire, or fishing, you know, like, is it fishing wire? Is that what we call it? Fishing thread? I don't know. That's what it looked like. So I'm wondering, what can I put on here? Because I did think some of that. Still do. Some of that. It could, because it doesn't have to be all the way around. I quite like the idea of some of that. I'm going to use my quick glue on this one. Okay. Let's do. Now, these things, if you go to like interior design stores and ask them for their old sample books, I mean, they may ask you to pay for some of it, because these sample books are very expensive to buy apparently. But I got them from a scrap store actually in the pandemic. I got this stash and I'm still working my way through it. Coming to the end. I keep saying this, you know, I'm coming to the end. But I just don't want to add more stuff to my house until I do come to the end. So it's this fine act of not over getting supplies in. so that my house is swamped, and sort of not leaving it too late so that I don't have any. I mean, I don't think you can cut clothes up, you can do all kinds of things. I don't think I would ever really run out of fabric supplies. It's just a particularly nice stuff to have. I want that to be like that, so it's not quite. Do I? Perhaps I don't. Yeah, so this bit came from, did it come from the bag? I think it did. It came from, I got a bag of sewing notions from an antiques mall that we like to go to when we go up north. I don't have a southeast accent. If you're English, you'll know that. I have a northwest English accent, a Lancashire accent, because that's where I originate from. But you know, you grow up, you go to university, you end up moving places. That's basically what happened to me. And I ended up in Buckinghamshire for a little while. And then we moved to Cambridgeshire, lived in St Ives in Cambridgeshire. And then we moved to Cambridge. And when we wanted to buy a house, we realised we couldn't afford that in Cambridge. And so we moved here. Bought our little tumble down house. Not any good. No, that's not any good now. I try to save little bits and pieces, but if they're not any good, I will bin them. Okay, so we've got that. I think it needs lifting a little bit. I think I want to put a butterfly on. I'm ready for spring. Ready for spring and butterflies. So let's dig into my tins. Keeping it neutral, Lindsay. Oh, you've already been stuck onto something. You've not. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. I'm just thinking, I know we're sticking with neutrals. I think that's a bit too neutral. Oh, I've got more than one of those. So these are napkins again that have been stuck onto book page just with PVA. If I'm a bit bored, I've not got anything to do, or not anything I want to do, I will do things like that, because I just constantly build your stash up. Or I might have printables and I'll just sit and chop them out. Stamps ended up in here. That needs to go back in the stamp box. So the butterflies will be hibernating. We have hibernating butterflies here. They'll go like into old buildings or sheds. Find a corner out of the way. Put themselves to sleep. Oh, I like that as well. I like the black. What do we think? Actually, I will go with that. I'll go with this one. Okay, so we've got this. So somehow I need to make a pocket on that other page, or it's going to go on the main flappy page. I think. I don't know. I don't know yet, actually. Don't know. Okay. So I've got that. Let's see how dry this stuff is. Ah, it's basically nearly dry. Got a little bit of dampness here. That's on the main page. I'm just trying to work out where my little foldy bits were. Okay, So we do have to stick a bit more on here. Now, how are we going to go about that? Do we just want the napkin so it's different? Let's trim it first. I don't even know how I'm going to take a photograph for a thumbnail for this because it's such a 3D thing. Catching my glue brush. So that's a little pocket. And that's a little hinge. So you won't actually see that when it's in the book, you won't see that at all. I'll show you what it's like. Don't forget to drink the tea. Try to drink more. I forget to drink, which is terrible, and I wonder why I've got a headache. Okay. So that does fold like that. A bit of glue seepage. It's still not quite dry, but it's dry enough to work with. Need a bit more trimming here. Okay. Push everything back, Lindsay, because that's my mark. Okay. Do we want, I think we want a tab there, which we might do that. Let's see where this, oh, perhaps that does go on the other side. But will it go in? Yeah, it will go in. Okay, so then this side is the lady. Have that. Got the stamps. Got this of that. And I want the fabric scraps. So I'll move that out of the way. Let's put that to dry again. So I want the fabric scraps. I think I quite like the idea of this. Think about that fold out though. I have to think about the fold out. I need something. I think I need something on this to sort of make it pop out. Now, what do I need? Do you have a favourite gold pen? I have a favourite gold pen. This is it. I'm just hoping it'll do the trick. Make like a bit of a gold frame. Okay. Let that dry a moment. Then we can layer that up with those fabrics and that. Do I want that to be thicker? Yeah, I think I do. I have down the side of me, I've said like lots of supplies, boxes of things. I'm looking for a little piece of card. It's not quite big enough. There it is though. Cereal packet. Oh, junk journal is best friend. Any kind of crafter's best friend, cereal packet, because it's just chipboard. Stick it on that side. No, because we're not seeing it. Doesn't matter. I would normally use my PVA glue and just put it to one side, but I'll use the little glue. This is Collal, which is like it's like the European version of Fabri-Tac, basically. And this is an Anna Griffith stamp. I don't know if you can get it anymore. And to be honest, I don't want to influence you to buy any more stuff. So I think my philosophy, and I might have gone on about this a bit too much if you've watched my 100 and other odd videos, but my philosophy is I don't really want to buy single-use crafting supplies, and I'm actually, this year I've decided I just want to replenish. So even though I was eyeing up some really nice paints, the gouache paints, my intention, I will put my intention, is not to buy anything unless it runs out. So like if the glue runs out, replace the glue. If an ink pad gets dry, buy something like a little bottle to refill it, that sort of thing, because I have hundreds of stamps that are still in the packet. I've never used. I've bought them when I wasn't really thinking about where these things come from and how they're made. Yeah. So there won't be any hauls that are new single-use crafting supplies. I don't have stickers. I did buy some washi tape over Christmas. Actually, it's not washi tape. It was parcel tape left over from. I could use some of that in this actually. And I kind of was. That's acceptable because it's none of it was plastic. It was all completely compostable. Because I don't even like using the plastic bottly bits, and I don't know. I can't say I'm the world's best recycler, but we do try. Okay. This is still a little bit wet. I might put it on an angle. I like an angle. So this is like a bulldog clip. I don't know if that's what they're called in other places. That's what we call them here. It's just a very nice stamp. Oh, now, because I'm going to use this selvage edge, and look, you can tell it's really old because of how narrow this selvage edge is. Do I want some of that prettiness? Can I finger press that out? There's a will, there's a way. I think I do. I think it'll be alright. I quite like that line. I want it free a bit. Wonder what the dress was like that this was made for. So yeah, what was I saying? My philosophy is so not to buy, not to keep buying things, and even not to keep bringing things in the house. It's really easy when I can get things for free or for very cheap that sort of fits my sensibilities. It gets very easy to fill the house up with stuff. Roll. I could turn into a crafting hoarder. I know. We could all do that in our house, actually, probably. There we go. Like that, and a bit of a tilt. Oh, I like that flower. Add a little bit of different. There you go. People noise in my house. I'll do that. They're probably talking about computer games. Too much? Did I glue this on here? I did, but it didn't take. Needed a bit more glue.
I tried giving her a shield, but she didn't know how to use it.
Are you letting Sophia die?
No!
I am filming.
I'm doing quite the opposite, actually.
Okay, good. You've defended your honour there, Lil. There we go. I quite like that. Let's bring our thing back. So, she's going to be under there. Oh no, her head's going to get cut off. We're not going to let her head get cut. Oh, we don't have to because we've got this gap here. She could actually quite happily live there and then we do something else. Yeah. If we do that, then something else has to be here. We could just put some butterflies about. Just make sure what's it like on the other side. Okay, we need to do something about that. Let's put a bit of silk in. Do you see what I mean? Go. It's going to be a bit off-centered, but I actually quite like that. It highlights the fabric. I don't mind white. I don't like lots and lots of stark white, but I actually don't mind it. I don't I bought all the inks to do the, you know, like inking around everything, and then everything looks really muddy and not nice, sort of dirty really. So I done that too small. How did we have that? We just sort of had it like that, didn't we? Yeah, I like that. That actually sort of softens the edge. So are you doing Junk Journal January? I did it last year and I sort of did every day, and it was the wrong thing for me to do, and I ended up dropping out of it, and I hate it when I do that. Like, I have projects on the go now that are just my projects. So I was looking at a few of them before I switched the camera on, thinking, oh, I need to do that. But like, I have no time frame to it. It doesn't get old. Whereas something that's sort of framed in a month, it does get old, doesn't it? Right. So I'm thinking, I want some sort of bird, or a sort of little bird, little tiny bird. So I want that and that, something like that. So it's a writing spot. I don't really do writing spots. I've got those birds. I've got any that's got nice words in. No. Oh, I've got these with no words in. You can make really nice robins with these. Just, I think I did this on the channel, but on brown paper, like craft paper, where you just sort of put some red paint there and then you've made a robin. That would work well with those as well. Let's, again, this is a really old stamp that I just got from, we have a craft shop called Hobbycraft, which is like a big box store type thing. It's always on a retail park. They used to have stamps where you could just buy one stamp and they would be like 50p. I'm talking a very long time ago, and I used to love that because I think, well, I'm going to go and buy myself 5 stamps and spend £2.50. I also get stamps off the front of magazines. I need to actually, I've decided I'm going to stop my subscription to a craft magazine because I was doing that for the stamps, and I'm thinking, I have so many and I think they sort of slightly repeat the designs, so I think we're done with that now. Have a little bird. I do have that one, slightly different colour, but I don't mind. Should we cut him out a little bit better? Sorry, I go quiet when I'm concentrating. I did say, somebody commented that, like, because I said I don't like fussy cutting on the camera, because I just think it's really boring to watch fussy cutting, but some people quite think that it's soothing. I don't know. Let's have you sitting there. Oh yeah, you're cute there. And then you're flying there. And then that might be it done. Didn't use the stamps. Don't think I need to. They can go back in the box. Look at that. That's very cute. That I'll have to find that stamp because that was just in amongst my scraps. Because that's small but mighty. This is probably an hour-long video, but it's okay. Well, I think it's okay. There we go. We forgot about that. Oh, do we forget about that? Yeah, we don't forget about that. Right then, we're going to do the same thing. Oh, I've got some different but the same. This. I'll put some butterflies on this. This is how I craft. I don't necessarily just do one thing at a time. In Junk Journal July I do, but I just sort of sit down and fiddle around until I feel like I've done all the creativity I need to do, or I've run out of time, depending on which. And that's okay. There we go. So I have a giveaway, and I will put that in the title, but generally I've got to 500 and I think it's 80 the last time I checked. A quick look on the app that you have. And so to celebrate that, I've made a little box up of what I call vintage button goodness. This is it. And it's got some things from my travels, like vintage and antique finds. There's things I've made in little packages that are pretty. There's a tag, there's a needle book that's been slow stitched. There's a covered paper clip, there's a little pincushion we made, there's a journal, there's a petal journal, blank. The journal you need to decorate is, but there is a packet full of ephemera that you can use to decorate that journal. You could probably make a journal out of what's in that box, and do some sew stitching too. Just need the needle and thread. Yeah, and I do want the channel to grow, so to be in a chance to win that, and it's open to anybody, anywhere, all I have to do is subscribe to my channel, comment, like and share the video. Every time you do that, obviously you can only subscribe once, is another entry into it. So yeah, I won't know if it's you who shared it if you don't tell me in the comments. That's why I'm asking you to comment, really. Say something else. I don't want like just sort of shared. I've kind of put that in the rules. I want that meaningful engagement, really. if it's not your cup of tea, that's absolutely fine. If you don't like entering things like that, or don't want to do all those steps, that's absolutely fine too. I am not offended. Just rubbing that down. Oh, okay, so that's that page. That's that page with that in. Let's see. Do we need something? I do feel like we need something here. What have we got left? We've got another bit of the silk. We've got some braid. Oh, we've got one of them. Looks like one of those. We could just do a little. Oh, I like that idea. Let's do that. I need another bit of card. So really, this is like 3 pages in one, really. Three different ideas in one. Like that. Still got some of that silk, haven't I? Yeah, I've got some of that silk. I might put a tab on as well. Sort of backing it onto card, things like this, because the paper I stamped was quite flimsy. It's like just an old book page. Just gives it a little bit more substance and helps it sort of stand up to whatever you're sticking it down on the top of. Makes it stand a little bit proud of the page, which helps, particularly when it's something like this that's like a clip. Gives it a little bit of 3D without it adding too much bulk to your journal, because I've got a finite amount of bulk for this journal. I don't really make really big gator mouths. Some of them are more bulky than others, but I never really get to that stage. I would have been bored with the project by then. Right, so we have this little thing. Can't really go proud of the. So where are we going to put it? We're going to put it like that, and it can have bits of fabric that can hang down. Have a bit of silk. Bit of silk. What else? I like that because it kind of flows down that way. I need another thing. I've got the braid. It's a bit thick, the braid, but actually it doesn't matter, does it? Oh no, that doesn't matter at all. Let's do that. I like that. What do we think? So finding a stamp like that stamp or the other one, they are quite useful. You know, like some stamps are more useful than others. Definitely, I would say that. So this is DuPont Silk. Posh. It's not, of course, anything I bought. It's a free sample. My tea's gone cold. That's alright. We want this sort of raggedy end at the bottom. I like a raggedy end. we go. Now where's my clip? Clip it all down. That's sewing themed because it's fabric. Oh no, we've covered her face up. Can I glue it so it goes like that? I can. I can glue it whatever way I want to. There we go. I'm using things like this because your fingers get so sticky with that glue that it's better to use the like it. I might have to go with some pinking shears. I don't know, we'll see what I think. So here we are. That's how it'll get bound into the book. So you will see it like that. And this is the way we tab. Do we want to put a tab? No, because it needs to fold out, doesn't it? We won't put a tab in. That's nice. Let's find the journal. So here we did, so we said that went like that, and that goes like that. So that's how that's going to look. Make it all align. So there's the scissors. Page I've not done yet. Another big page I've not done yet. And there's our page. That's nice. I don't know how neutral it is. I think it's quite neutral. That's definitely neutral tones. See, I like colour. So then we turn that page and that comes folding out. There we go. I'm looking forward to this journal being finished just because I want to see what it's like as a whole. It's going to be very eclectic because my resources are for this, because I've got a 1970s embroidery book, which is what these bits are, that I need to incorporate a little bit more. And then there's quite old things, but that's what I think about sewing supplies. Sometimes they get handed down from mother to daughter, and sometimes I buy like somebody's lifetime worth of sewing supplies in an antique place, and you'll see this mixture of things from the 60s and 70s and things that are very obviously Edwardian and Victorian, and it's all mixed in together. So I'm loving it. So there we are. I've got yet to work on the cover. I figured I'd do that when I'm done. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this craft along with me. I have no idea what time it is. It was about 3 o'clock when I started. What time is it? Oh, it is. We're about an hour. Might be a bit over. Thank you very much. You've been wonderful. Pop a comment, share, like, subscribe. Let me know you've shared to be in with a chance to win a box of vintage button goodness. I look forward to talking to you soon. Slow Stitch Sunday tomorrow. We're going to be embroidering our stamping on fabric. It's going to be fun. See you then. Bye bye.